Hey guys, it's Josh here and welcome back to another speed build video. Today's build is a Japanese inspired lakeside home, and one of my favorite parts of this house is the fact that it has a deck area which actually goes over the pool, and I think it looks pretty cool. I love the effect that it ended up having, because I did put columns underneath in the pool as well, so it actually looks like it's just standing above the pool. You'll see that in a moment, but I think it just turned out pretty cool. I think it's like the feature of the house if you ask me. But apart from that, this house has two bedrooms, one being a kid's bedroom, the other being just a regular bedroom with a double bed. There is no ensuite in this house since it is a fairly small house and I wasn't really able to fit in two bathrooms. And apart from that, there's a open plan kitchen and dining area, and it's kind of open, but there's also like a connected lounge area, but there is like a dividing wall in between it, so it's not like 100% connected or anything like that. And as you can see now, I'm kind of like fiddling around with the cheats and like raising columns and stuff, because I did want to make this house look like it was on stilts, at least for parts of it, because then it would justify having it over the lake a little bit more, since it kind of like goes off of the little hill area and then all the way to the lake. But anyway, as you can see, it's actually turning out quite decent in terms of how the columns are making the house look, because one thing we could do since getting terrain tools is that you could actually have foundationless first floor basically, which is essentially when you build up to the second floor, delete the first floor, and then just like lower the second floor to the ground, and you can make it look like it's got no foundations, which I think it looks pretty cool. The windows take me a little bit to do, since there wasn't like a window that was the exact one that I was looking for, since I did look at a few pictures of real life Japanese homes before I started this, and I saw like this one style of window which was fairly consistent, which was like basically just a square with like a simple X frame, a cross frame rather, but I couldn't really find that, so I just at the start at least picked these windows right here, which has like the double cross. As you can see now, we are working on this deck area, and at the moment I dragged the deck over top of the pool is the moment that I instantly fell in love with this build, and I just wanted to finish it. And it did take quite a while though, since most of the start is just me trying to like place all these columns. Now I'm placing the columns underground. It was a little bit fiddly, since when the pool is actually there, they don't let you put the columns down, but if you remove the pool, go into the basement area, and then place the columns like that, and then raise them and stuff like that, then it works pretty decently. And in the end, I also placed rocks as well, because it would make it look a little bit more like a lake and less like a pool, right? But anyway, I think in a moment I'll just skip to the interior, since the exteriors does take quite a while, especially since, like, as you can see, I'm just fiddling around with columns all day, and I don't think you guys want to see that. So yeah, I'll catch up with you guys once we're doing the interiors. As per usual, we are starting with the kitchen, and this kitchen actually turned out to be quite big. I'm not sure what I was thinking when I was building this kitchen, but it turned out to be quite big, and I wasn't even able to fit in a dining table in this house, because I just don't know why. I don't know why I tried to fit it in either, because I knew that I couldn't fit it in, and for some reason I didn't do anything about it. But I kept the fact that there was no dining table, and I kind of made the island table that you will see a bit later into the dining table, or the island counter to the dining table, because I thought it would be fun. Like, basically every house I've built has a dining table, so I thought, hey, why not just make it into a island counter dining table instead and just do something different, because in the traditional Japanese homes, usually there wasn't actually a dining table. It was kind of just like this low coffee table, and you'd basically eat at like a coffee table, and you'd kneel down, sit on cushions. That's how people used to eat in Japan. Some people still do, but generally most houses have been like somewhat westernized now, so that there's regular height dining tables instead of like a coffee table height dining table where you kneel and eat at in like a tatami room. But this house doesn't even have a tatami room, so I think maybe you could pretend that the upstairs room was once a tatami room, but then, like, since it's the modern day and maybe this family living here want to westernize their house a little bit more, they just decided to change their tatami room into just like a more traditional bedroom style, because I guess tatami rooms are also bedrooms. Like, during the day it'd be like a lounge living area where you just kneel and sit down at the coffee table, have some tea or something like that. But then at night time, you'd put the table aside and you'd put futon mattresses down, and that's where people would sleep usually. But I guess these people living here decided to get rid of that and make it into a traditional style bedroom with beds and separate rooms. But as you can see now, we are starting with the living area. One thing I really like about the living and kitchen area is the fact that there's these beams going across the ceiling. Like, for some reason, it just makes this build feel a lot more like Japanese to me, because in some of the places I visited in Japan, there's like these massive tatami rooms and then there's these massive beams going across the ceiling, and I guess that's where I got the inspiration from. But I just feel like it looked pretty cool, and it looked pretty cool that the lights were also like attached to the beams as well. Like, it just makes it feel a lot more realistic, and one thing I love in Sims is being realistic, even though some things I do in the Sims are like not realistic at all. But anyway, one thing this lounge room ends up having is a big dividing wall behind the sofa. Like, it's not directly behind it, but it's somewhat behind it, because I just wanted to split the room up a little bit, since this was a massive room, and if I didn't have that wall there, it'd actually feel really, really bare. And if I had that wall there as well, I could put things up against it. So in the end, I put like a fish tank and some like shelves, I guess, where the half wall goes, and this makes the house feel a lot more cozy, because if you've seen my other builds before, I do like using lots of timber tones because it does make the house feel a lot more cozy, and having the dividing wall, to me at least, made it feel a little bit more cozy as well. And at the start though, it was going to be a full height wall, but in the end, as I just said, it was going to become like a half wall dividing wall. I don't think I said it was a half wall, but I did say it was going to be a dividing wall. And there's also a little desk that goes in towards the front door area, because I feel like the house had to have a desk and it wouldn't fit in the bedroom, so I fit it in the main living area, which I think looks pretty cool. And obviously, if you couldn't tell, this is the bathroom area, and the bath is went in, so if you didn't know earlier, you know now that it's a bathroom. And it does have a little bit of, it's kind of like a simple bathroom. It's got the shower bath duo, as well as a toilet and sink. There is like a washing basket there as well, and there's also just a few decorations like the storage unit. I don't know what they called, but you just put like towels and clothes can go in there, I guess. I don't know why you put clothes in there, but towels and like soaps and things could be stored in the storage unit. And one thing about the upstairs area is that there's actually a lot of bookshelves, because in Japanese homes, space is usually pretty limited, even though that's obviously not the case with this house. Like, there's a lot of room around the outside of the house and that you could easily expand, but I decided to keep the house small and make it feel like it was at least a little bit too small for the family living here. So they've got these like massive bookshelves on the, well, not bookshelves, I'll pretend they're just like storage units on the second floor to store all their stuff upstairs, because there's not enough room downstairs to store stuff, so they're putting it upstairs in shelves and forgetting about it, because I guess if they have visitors over, you wouldn't want them seeing piles and piles of books and things that are stored away, because that's not really nice to look at. Storage is hidden upstairs so that the guests won't see it, unless they are staying in the kids' bedroom. Maybe the kids' bedroom could become a guest bedroom, and so that if guests moved here, then that's when they would see the upstairs area, storage area. But anyway, the bedrooms are both pretty basic. I didn't want to be like too over the top, because one thing I noticed is that with my bedrooms, I usually go so over the top with colors and stuff, so I just had to just try and keep it simple. The kids' bedroom ended up being a little bit colorful in the end with the greens, but apart from that, I tried to keep it pretty simple. No like over the top toys and things piled up everywhere. But anyway, I think we're about to move on to the exteriors. I'm not too sure. I don't think we've fully done the decorations of the interior yet, but we will get that done shortly and move straight outside. So we're just finishing off placing the paintings now. I did skip through some of it because like it was just going to go on forever. I spent so long in the interior. I usually spend more time outside actually building the house, but it turns out that I spent more time today inside with the finishing, because I don't know why, I was just placing so many things. I was just like thinking about so many things and testing out so many things. Like, this house in itself is an experiment, since like I didn't know until I built this house that you could build things over a pool. Like, since when could you do that? But you can. I'm not sure how many of you guys knew you could, but you can, and that was pretty cool when I found out. So I just kept going with this house because it looked pretty cool. I loved how the deck turned out. But anyway, we're just still placing the clutter. As I just said, it does take quite a while since I spent so long on it for some reason. But the exterior has a little, well, on the deck area itself, there's a big dining table, there's a barbecue, and there's also like a little bit of a corner where you can do some yoga. And there's also some like reading, like armchairs as well, that you can probably just sit with guests and chat or something like that. And off the deck, there's a little bit of a pathway from the back of the house that goes off to like the pool. It goes to the pool. Like, it's not a pool, it's meant to be a lake, but it's like a path that leads towards the side of the lake. And there's a seat there, and there's also a little bit of it. There's also a yoga mat as well. So I guess the people living here likes to do yoga. And there's also a seat, so you can just sit and relax under the shade of the massive trees that end up going in just next to the pool, enjoying the warm spring day or summer day. It's summer in Australia right now, and it's ridiculously hot right now. I am so glad that this house that I'm living in has evaporative cooling. But anyway, oh yeah, and also the pool has a bunch of stuff around it as well. So there's just like plants that circle around it. Anything to make it look less like a pool and more like a lake. We are starting with the exteriors now, and as I just explained most of what happens outside, I think I'll just leave you guys off here. If you'd like to find this build on the gallery, it will be up as Japanese Lakeside Home. There will be screenshots at the very end of this, so if you'd like to see those, definitely stay tuned. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!